Oh, lovely. Okay, everybody, welcome to this amazing call where we have got the incredible Ellie Myhill on. No pressure. And we're so excited to have you on the call. Like, we need your help, Ellie. We need your help. Everyone's been like, we need to do reels, and we need, what do we do? I was like, don't worry, leave it with me. I'm going to get the reels expert on.
Oh yeah, I do love reels, and do you know what, I think people like massively overcomplicate them, and I think it's like anything new that comes out, isn't it? People get really worried about doing it, and you just have to kind of get started with it. So the reason I love them is because I actually find it such an easy way. Like, I get quite a lot of people message me who A, I've not followed, and B, they've actually not been following me, but they've just happened to see my reel about the business, and they're like, oh, like, can you tell me more about this? Or if I do one about products, particularly the summer bundle, I've had loads of messages about one I did about the summer bundle. So it's a really good way of reaching out to people that you probably wouldn't connect with otherwise. And my big tip would be do a variety. So I think sometimes people focus solely on the business and the products, which obviously, yeah, it's really good to do that because that's how you're going to get direct interest. However, I personally think if you only do business and product reels, you become a little bit unrelatable. And when you do, like, for me, I'm obviously a mum, like a lot of my reels are just taking the mick out of my kids, or just talking about how much of a nightmare motherhood is. And when I do those ones, that's when I find that I get like random mums follow me, and they're like, oh my God, like, I've just been laughing at your reels and that kind of thing. Or people then will look at all of my reels, whereas if they were all just business and products, I think people would get a little bit annoyed and a bit like, oh, here she goes again talking about products. So yeah, mix it up as much as you can. I try and only ever do let's say two, one business, one product directly after the other. I try and mix it up, so I vary each one. I would say with reels, like, they're very hit and miss in terms of how they take off. Like, one of my sidelines, Sean, hers just hit like 1 million, and she was like, oh my God. And it's like one where she's just doing song lyrics, like, it's not even like a crazy one. And I think some of them just kind of boom, and obviously if people share them in their stories, they can just really go crazy. So a big shout out to Sean. But yeah, it's one of those where I think I wouldn't really worry too much about finding a reel you think is going to get a big audience, if that makes sense, because you don't really know. Just find them that are relatable to you. So I don't know whether we all know actually how to do reels. I thought it'd be quite useful just to show anybody who's not sure. So basically, if you go to click the plus sign on the top right of your Instagram, as you're going to do a post, it comes up, and obviously you can click at the bottom. There's the option for reels. So you click that, and apologies for anyone who knows this, but I just want to make sure it's really simple for everyone. And then you've got this screen on here where you can either start filming straight away, or you can add pre-made ones. So you can obviously, some people like to do them in their story. So you know how you make a 15-second video in your story and you can save it? You could do that, and then you can come and build the reel. So I'll just show you a really simple one. So for example, on here, you can add music. There's a timer, so you can either do 15 seconds or 30 seconds. I tend to do mine at 15. I think unless you've got a lot you want to say, you want to keep them so people it ends and people are like, oh, I want to see more, because then they'll follow you to watch more of them. You can put effects on, so this always happens for me. So the effects that you have for your stories, so there's various ones, and then you can obviously put it on timer if you want to step away from the camera, and kind of let it start a delayed start, if that makes sense. So if you were just gonna
stop you. Sorry, what did you say about you can put on timer? Because this is one of the things I've been struggling with.
So here, if you see, it's got a little clock. If you click that and then just click set the timer, then as you click this, it'll do a countdown, and then it'll start, and then it starts filming. And then what you can do, so I'm just going to film something so you guys can see. So when you've filmed the first bit, you can actually click that little arrow at the bottom, and then it'll start. Oh, there we go. I hate the sound of my voice. And you'll see the video I've just done, and you can crop it. So you can actually cut the start, or you could cut the end. So you can edit it as you go, which a lot of people don't realize. And then you can just click trim at the top if you're going to trim that. And that's that section done. And then you can do your next section. Then when you've done, so let's just say if I do one more, and then when you've done like as many bits that you want to do, you can then click preview, and that'll basically put all the bits together. So you'll have like, so this is just my boring kitchen table. So you can see you can put the bits together and things. So, and then you can save it at the top here. So click save at the top, and that will actually save what you've done. So if you wanted to then put it in your story, or you were worried it was going to delete, you can do that. In terms of sound, so you can just literally add music. So you can click on the music icon. You can make it so your actual, and a lot of people don't know this, but if you've got background noise, sometimes it doesn't take it out with the music. Most of the time it does. But if you can hear stuff in the background, when you click that music icon, bring this one down to 0, so there's no background noise, and then click on add, and then it just comes up. My internet's so slow, sorry. It'll just come up with all of the, like, you know, the songs that you normally have on your, let me switch my internet back on your stories. It'll come up with all of those options for you to use, and you can just choose a song. I think you can even save songs. Oh, mine's being so slow. But that's how you would add music to it. And then people often ask me, do you add music that should say, do you add music? Yes, you can add music there, yeah. Sorry, it's not loading. Or another way you can do it is you can actually save people's audio. So one thing people always say is, where do you find all your reels from? So for example, I'm just going to go on to Sean's, because I know that she's just had that one that's gone really crazy. So oh my God, my internet is honestly so slow. It must be all the people watching the football. Where is it? Okay, here we go. So when I go onto Sean's and it comes up with them, you can obviously go on. So if you've got someone, like if you went onto my Instagram or anybody whose reels you like, because people don't mind you doing the same ones, like we all just copy each other anyway, click on their reels, and you can actually click on when it decides to load. Oh my goodness, it's painful, isn't it? Sean, where are your reels? Oh, there, is that it? Anyway, you can click on it, and then the audio, you can actually click the audio and it'll say like use audio or save it. So what I tend to do is, if I am scrolling through, so like, you know, when you click on the reels here and you scroll through all the reels, if you like the audio, you can click on the audio and it'll say use audio or save audio. So it's really worthwhile just saving like different ones that you like the sound of, or ones that you think you might do, because I mean, I do try and do like a reel a day. Sometimes I don't do one every day, but I have found they've really helped like me grow my following. But obviously some days like I'm like, oh my God, I can't think. And if I've just saved like a number of them, you can go back and use them. So it's always worthwhile saving them to your audio. And then when you go to make your reel, so let's say if you wanted to make one, and the audio, oh, sorry, it's not loaded, but it'll be on there as saved basically. So it's a really good way of kind of getting the saved ones on there. So yeah, like I said, do a variety of business, of products. So some of them that I've done, I was hoping to show you, but I don't know whether it's going to load. This is so annoying. In fact, I'm going to go in the other room because the internet will be better. So hang on 2 seconds. No. So I'm going to show you some of the ones I've done. Sorry, are you going to talk?
No, I was going to say no worries at all. It's fine.
Always a technical fault. Right, let's see if this works. Okay, we'll go with this. So, for example, I don't know why mine aren't loading. This is so annoying. So this is one that me and my team did earlier. It was actually her idea. So this one here. Why is it not working? Oh, here we go. Why is it not making noise? Oh, you're gonna have to go on my Instagram and watch. I don't watch it on my phone. Anyway,
I actually watched it today. It was really I stalk your reels. It's a fact.
I want to show you guys, and I don't know what is wrong with my internet. I want to show you guys my reels, but you can go. My account is Ellie Myhill, so if you want to go on at some point and have a look, you can do. But yeah, and I literally just find inspiration from other people. So like Danny, my upline, she's amazing for reels. Like Shannon McCartney's great. Like Faith Martin has so many. They're so funny. Sean's great. So any of these women, like in the business, I would say if someone's just done one, I try not to do it like straight away, but they're not going to mind you doing it like, you know, the same one, because that's obviously what we all do anyway. We just, very few people I think do like their own one. Most people copy them. So I would say try and be like as fun as you can with them, because obviously they're there to like entertain people. And what I would say is don't worry if you like feel a bit silly or you think like people aren't going to find it funny, because like what's the worst going to happen? You do a reel and doesn't get many views. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. But like I said, you don't know which ones are going to kind of take off and which ones aren't. So I'll often like, you know, if you follow me, you know, I just love dancing around like an idiot. I'll often dance around on mine, that kind of thing. And just find what like works with you. Like you can do really funny ones with like the product. So I did one ages ago with my little girl Cece, and I need to do it again actually, where I kind of stood like away from the camera and I threw her the chewables and she kind of caught them, and we did it in like little clips. So it was me like chucking her the capsules, she caught them, then throwing the chewables. And then I was going to show you can actually put writing on. So I wrote on and I was talking to her about, like I was talking about them and the fact you get the free chewables when you order the capsules. So you can do like quite a lot of stuff with them and you can make them look really effective. Is there a good time to post it? When me and a few of the girls in sidelines to each other have talked about this. Like there's not really, like I've tried to work out a good time when I get more views, and there's no pattern at all. So I don't think there really is. I think it's just kind of hit and miss, and I have tried to do it at different times. To be honest, just do them whenever I have time. Like I don't really worry about the time. But yeah, we have kind of tested, and I don't think there is much of a difference with time. Someone said, can you save the music to your phone? Oh yeah, can you save the reel to your phone with the music? So sometimes you can. Most of them I do, you can't. So I think it depends on what music you're using. But what you can do is if you just save the reel you've just made, then, and my friend, me and my team Jenna made this reel together earlier, and she kind of made it for hers and then sent me it without music so I could add my writing. So you can obviously do it to if it's like lip syncing or whatever, do it to that, save it. And then as you go back in, just add the same music on and you'll be able to use it. So if you wanted to make one like in the morning to post in the evening, you could do that. I'm just going to show you guys how to do some writing on it, because I know that this is something I've been asked quite a lot. So I'm just going to do like I'll just do a little video of this call. So if you're wanting to add a video of this, if you're wanting to add writing, you can click there at the top. It's like the little A icon for you to write. So if I just write like Zoom call like that, and you can obviously change all the fonts and things at the bottom, just like you normally would on a story. It's very similar to a story. Then what you can do is at the bottom, it says tap to set duration. And a lot of people don't know this. I think this is where some people tried to do it. Some of my team tried and they got confused. So if you click that, you can actually choose where you want it. So if I want this to come in straight away on this part of the reel, I'll leave the starters there. And then this end one, I will just move it. And let's say I want it to stop here. When it gets past there, it's going to fade. So if I want to put some more writing on, I might set, oh God, no, I was about to share it. I might write, let's write reel training. And then if I want this, so at the minute, that one's going to come on at the same time like that. Yeah. Can you see that? Whereas if I want to change it so it comes on after, I'll click the reel training at the bottom, and then I'll just move the first one. But it is a bit fiddly, especially if you have ridiculous nails on like me. So if you look at the phone, as soon as the Zoom call one fades, I'm going to let go. There we go. So that's going to come on when that one fades, if that makes sense. I'll do one more to show you. I'll just write Wednesday night. So again, if I want this one to come on as the third one, I click at the bottom there where it says Wednesday. I'm going to move this one. So as I move it, I'll wait for the, oh, for goodness sake. There we go. The first one's gone. Second one's gone. And then I might pop it there. I've got to just change the reel one so that ends where the Wednesday night starts, if that makes sense. And then it should all flow. And then when you've done it, you can just click, you can just see it there. Look, it kind of comes up. You can obviously see it faded in the background. When you share that, those faded ones won't be there, like they will have gone. And that's how you do it. And you can always save it like that. And then I'll show you, see if it works on my pictures, and then go into yours and you can just check that it's all right. So you can see it just comes on like that. Okay. So that's one thing I think a lot of people get confused with, is how you get the writing on, like to come and fade after. You can also put on, I mean, I don't really use these, but they have got like a couple of GIFs, but I don't really use them. What else can you do? Or you can do like little squiggle writings. You can obviously write on it, that kind of thing. There's quite a lot of stuff you can do. The best thing to do is, like I said, to go and kind of explore. So click on your Reels button on your Instagram, and I would just go through people's, because this is where you're going to get loads of inspiration for Reels for you. There's one, so again, I would kind of vary it up. If you're like in a bit of a rush and you've not got loads of time, a good one is to do like just the lip sync ones. Like they're really easy to do, and you can just do it. Like I'll just sit in my pajamas and do them. Sometimes I'll obviously put more effort in them and it'll take a bit longer. But you can, like find a few that you like. So maybe one day when you've got a bit more time, you can spend more time on it. If you've only got a few minutes, you can just spend a few minutes on it. But I think this is like going live and anything like that. Like you just have to kind of get started with it. I think a lot of the time people are really worried to do it, and then when they start doing it, they're like, oh, like that was really easy, like I'll do another one. And the big thing I would say is get into the habit of doing it. So let's say you want to do 2 a week to start with, just make sure you do 2 a week. Because the thing is, like, I know I have followers who, and people will message me, or like they'll share my reel to their story, and they'll be like, oh, like this is really funny, like she's made me laugh today. If I don't do a reel for 2 weeks, they're going to be like, oh, well, I'm not following her, and they'll just unfollow me. So it's really important to, like everything with this business, be really consistent with it. And obviously don't put too much pressure on yourself. If you only want to do like 2 a week, just say 2 a week. Mine have loaded now. So if you can see there, like I've got so many, it's ridiculous. I've got way too much time on my hands. So you can actually also put like a photo on to save. So this one here that I did about the convention, I've actually put a photo as like a cover photo. So as you do the reel, it gives you the option to add a photo. So let's say if you're doing it about like the summer bundle and you want a picture of you holding the product, you can take a picture of you first and save it to that. I'm going to find some examples of ones I've done that are a bit more complex. So like something really simple, like I think my biggest one, I mean, mine didn't actually get like crazy views, but I think the biggest one I had was actually with my little girl, and it was the most simplest one. It got like 288,000, I think. Oh, there's one of me dancing that got a few, but I won't show you that because you'll be like, oh my god.
The dancing one. Anyone that's not seen your dancing needs to see it.
All right, I'll find it. Honestly, my partner was like, what are you doing? So this one, this is what I mean. This got like 239,000 views. It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, why is the sound not working? Why does it do it? Does anyone else's reels do this? Oh, you're gonna have to, I don't know why I won't show you, but basically I'm just dancing around like an absolute idiot. It's the Baby Shark song, and it's like really simple. Like it took me like 2 minutes, and it's got so many views. It's just crazy. So yeah, like I said, the ones you pre-plan loads might not actually get that many. It might just be one that you've picked up and you've done. But if you've got kids and you don't mind putting them on social media, get your kids involved. Like my bigger ones are often with Cece, my little girl, because she's just so sassy. People like to see her. Or like if your partner's up for it, like my partner will not do a reel with me. I'm like, I'm going to get you to do one at some point. But I know that like my uplines, Danny and Ross, they often do them together. They get loads of views. So just try and get like people involved and try and make them funny. Like I would do them in different locations. Like I know that and Danny, my upline, she's done one before. It's a really good one with her car. She's like getting out of the car with her shopping bags. It's about the business and things. At the weekend at the event, me and some of the girls in the team did like a really funny one. We were all dancing and did a really funny one together. That got quite a lot of views. Like just make them fun. Like, and when it comes to the business, obviously think about your target audience. So like for me, I will do a lot of reels obviously about mum life, because I do mainly recruit mums. Like that, it's not a coincidence. Like think about who your audience is. Like for me, there would be no point all of my reels being about going out clubbing, because I don't do that. And you know, like my audience who I would probably want to recruit wouldn't really relate to it. They probably wouldn't find it. They just wouldn't get it. So just try and keep your audience in mind when you're doing them, because like I said, otherwise that kind of defeats the object. What I would say as well is, and I think I made the mistake of doing this initially, I went away from doing business and product reels for a little bit, because I was like, oh, I noticed that my ones that weren't business product were getting more views and my following was going up, which was great. But I always think about this and I think like, I'm not on my Instagram to have a big following or to have loads of like views on my reels. Obviously that's amazing, that's really good, but I'm on my Instagram to get customers and get team members. And I think we have to remember that, because you do need to do them about the business and the products, because ultimately like that's what we get paid for. So yes, do them that are going to get you like interaction, get your following up, but also remember it is important to keep those reels going about the business and the product. So, you know, things for the business, like when it, like for now, it's the double bonuses. I don't even know whether I've done one. I must have done one. I don't think I have. I'm gonna have to do one. Do one about the double bonuses at the minute. You could get your team involved. So you don't even have to be together, but you could like me and my teamie Jenna did one today. That's my latest one. If you've not seen it, we just literally like, it took us like 2 minutes, filmed ourselves doing a clip each, sent it to each other, and we put it together. So do it as a whole team, and you don't have to all be together. You can, you know, like I said, I think when we got paid once, my upline Danny was like, go to the bank and get some money out. This is when like COVID was really big, and I was like, no one accepts money. Like, what am I going to do with it? And she was like, just go get the money out. And it was on payday. And I looked like an absolute idiot. I was sat in the car. I was like fanning myself with money. Like people walking past must have been like, who does she think she is? Like one of my sidelines, Stacey had this like money gun. And she was like squirting money out. Like, but have fun with it, because people are going to watch these reels and be like, oh my God, like as if this is work. Like I want to be in on this, or just make them really fun. Like that would be my big tip, because I think sometimes like we take ourselves too seriously, and ultimately like I always think we kind of are here to entertain people. Like, yeah, obviously we're here to, you know, get customers and team members, but people are going to like come to you when they feel comfortable around you. And actually like one of my a team member I signed up yesterday, I didn't realize she was on the call, but she said to me, I phoned her yesterday and she was like, it's really weird. I feel like I like know you really well. And you're like one of my really good friends, because I just watch your reels all the time. And that's the thing, like people are going to get to like, know and trust you more by you putting yourself out there more. And that's why like video content is just like so powerful. Like I honestly would rather do a reel on Instagram TV every day and never have a post on my Instagram than the other way around, because your Instagram, yeah, it looks pretty when the posts are all nice on a preset, but you want people to get to know you and you want them to get to like, know and trust you, because if they don't do that, they're never going to join the team with you or order products with you. And that's where, like I said, these video content, it's crazy. Could you share your Instagram? Yeah, of course. I'll just pop it in here. I don't know if anybody's got any more questions. How did you add the font to the picture? I'll just show you.
Oh, no, go on, go. Sorry for add the font.
So just quickly. Sorry, I'll just get a random video. So you just go to, once you've filmed, so I've just filmed something, I'm going to click preview. And then can you see it says at the top there, it's got the A symbol. Click that, and then you can just do your typing. And then when it's uploaded, you can obviously do your duration for time. Has anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, I'm going to bombard you with a few, Ellie. I've got a list. How long have you got?
Not all night. We don't care about football.
Okay, so a few of them you've answered already. One of them that I had was how to reach more people on your reels, and obviously you said that really hit and miss, whether you get a lot or you don't. Do you use hashtags on your reels?
I don't. And again, like I think, and to be honest with you, I actually don't use hashtags at all on Instagram anymore. I used to, and then I did a little like trial with not using them and using them, and it actually for me made no difference. Like some people do. I think some people do it out of habit. For me, I don't find it really makes a difference. I would say to get more reach, think about your target audience, because like I said, if I do like a mum one, it does tend to go like quite big. like some of my really simple ones have been me like making a cup of tea, and then it's like a audio where it's like it goes quiet and then you hear a big crash and I like run out. It's like really simple, but it got quite a lot of views because other mums are like, oh my god, I can relate to that. Like you got to think like, is your target audience going to be able to relate to the content you're putting out there? And that's how you're ultimately going to get more reach. Obviously as well, like when you interact on other people's reels, like they're probably going to interact on yours, you know, if people share them. So you could even like, if you've got like, I don't know, I mean, I don't really do this, but I'm sure you could even ask people to share them in their stories. Like, you know, if you've got family or friends on there, but you'll find people might just do it anyway. Like, and then if anybody ever does share a reel, I'll always like share it to my story that they've shared it. And I'll just put, oh, thanks so much for sharing. And then I find when I do that, like someone else will share it. So it kind of just goes like that. But yeah, I think just having your target audience in mind when you're creating them is really important. If you share them in your story, yeah, so a good question, Steph. So with sharing in your story, I always do this just because if people are flicking through my story, and I always make sure like there's like I always put new reel and kind of put it as like a GIF around the whole thing, so they actually can't see what's going on. Then obviously they can click in your story and click to watch the reel. And most people, if they see a reel and they can hear and not see it, like we're really nosy, aren't we? They're like, oh, what is it? And they click on it. So yeah, I'd put it in your story. So once you've shared your reel, I'll just show you how to do it quickly. So if you've got your reel on there, so let's say like this one, and actually if you've got one, and I should do this more, like this one, you can share it to your story again. So you can click that little arrow there and add reel to story. And then what I would do is I would just click on the little face, add a little GIF, and you can just type in like new reel. And then what I would do is I would make it so that do you know what I mean? So it covered the whole thing, so they can't see it. So if they want to see it, they have to click on your page, because if you don't do that, then they'll just see it in your story. So that's what I would do. And yeah, if you've got one that's done really well or it is trending and you want it to like reach a certain amount, keep resharing it. Like this is something I forget to do, so I'm going to try and do that more. But that's a good way of getting more reach. Do you always film it on a reel? Sometimes. So sometimes I'll just do it straight away and film it as in the reel, and like you can like obviously stop and start it, and if you want to like put a different outfit on or whatever you can, or you can do it as a video before. I do a bit of both. I think some people like to have it just as video. It just depends what works for you really. But yeah, you can kind of change it up. What about the picture is the main thing at the beginning? Yeah, okay. So if you're gonna make one and do it at the beginning, so I'm just going to use that old one. So once you've clicked add, when you go to preview here, and when you click share to, if you click on that box that says cover, you can actually either choose a part of the reel to put it on, or click camera roll. So like if I was going to put that one, obviously I'm not going to post it, but that one on there, you can choose a photo from your camera roll to save it to. So, but just be careful. It does make, it does kind of move the photo. So it's got to be a certain measurement, but as long as you're right in the middle of the photo, like you'll be able to see you. But yeah, sometimes people like to keep their reels on their page. Like I'm a bit OCD with it. I like my Instagram to be very like, I mean, I need to delete a few actually from today. But I like to normally have it so it's just like photos of the similar color. But some people choose to put like a cover photo on, then they might put like new reel, and they'll have like one, you know, when people have like one side of their Instagram as reels, one as like a post, and one as Instagram TV. You could do that. It's whatever you want to do. But if you do have one on your page, so like this one here, if you wanted to get rid of it, you just click those three dots and you can, oh God. And you can just click remove from profile grid, and that will still be on your reels, but it just won't be on your page. So although it will have gone from here, when you click under your reels, it'd still be there. So if you are a bit OCD like me about your Instagram, you don't want it to be having reels all over it, you can obviously get rid of them, because the people, it'll still show on people's feeds. It'll just be if they come to your Instagram, they'll have to click on the reel to see it, which I think most people would do anyway. Any more questions?
Yeah, Ellie, how often would you say you try to do a reel? Do you do one every day, a few times a day, or?
Yeah, I personally try and do one a day. Okay. I think it depends as well on like, what I would say is I wouldn't do like 2 a day, then not do one for 5 days, then do 2 days later. I would try and be really consistent with what you do, because you got to think about sound really like big-headed from us, but like we're kind of like, we give value, don't we? People love our social media because they love our content. So if you're putting out like a reel a day for a week and then you stop, people are going to be a little bit like, oh well, it's like if Stacey Solomon was to stop posting on her story, everyone would be like, what is she doing? Because we love it. So this is the same, like you've got to think like, you know, people are kind of expecting your content at the rate you put it out there. So I would maybe start smaller. So maybe start doing like a few a week, and then obviously you can up it. But like I said, it's a bit like, I just think of it as like going live. So I think, well, if I go live every day, like I could do a reel every day. And you know, if you go through and save a load, and there's loads you can do. Like I initially was like, oh my God, I'm going to run out of ideas, but there's always something else. And I think if you go between all the team as well and save their ideas, like you'll have so many to choose from.
Yeah. And is there you know, like obviously you can do some over on TikTok, and then obviously you can just post them as a someone mentioned to me that you don't get as much interaction if it's not done on Instagram. Is that the case?
Yeah, I've heard that. So what I tend to do is, if I was gonna do it, I never take one from TikTok to Instagram, or if I was gonna, apparently if you crop it so it cuts out the TikTok bit, I think TikTok's at the bottom, apparently it's okay. And I think it's just if they can see the TikTok logo, they just, because obviously they're like rivals, aren't they? And I think it's because Reels came out because TikTok started to like boom, and Instagram was like, hang on a minute. So they brought Reels out. So then when you put a reel on that's got TikTok on, Instagram, like, I don't think so, and they just don't show it. So yeah, I would either just do it straight on Instagram, and sometimes I'll like obviously save my Reels from Instagram and then do them on TikTok, because that's fine. But vice versa, I wouldn't do it. Or if you're going to do it, like I said, crop it. But if you do notice that you've done one like that and you've cropped it and it's not got loads of views, or it's got a lot less than normal, it could just be because it's from there. I apparently, if you take away the TikTok, it's fine, but I always feel like you don't really ever know these things.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you hear all these things and it makes me think, makes you hold back a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you just get conflicting information all the time, don't you? And sometimes like, don't do it here, don't do it there, don't do it this time, don't do it this time. But yeah, I suppose it's like you said, it's just finding what works best for you, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So just a couple more and then I'll let you go, I promise. So you know, when you are, say for instance, you're doing a story or doing reels, if you use trending songs, then they tend to get more interaction, don't they?
Yeah, I've heard this a lot, and that's something that I always think, oh, I need to up my game with this, because I always just use like the songs that I like, but I'm like, no, I think about the song. So yeah, if you try and do songs that are quite popular, because again, you've got to think, if someone hears a song that they like, they're probably going to share it more, whereas if they don't like it, then they're probably not going to. So yeah, I would definitely try and like and this is again why it's really good to go through the reels bit on your Instagram and just see what reels are out there, because you'll probably find the same song comes up a lot. And if it comes up a lot and you've not used it, I would definitely make a reel with that song, because it is going to get shared a lot.
Yeah, and in the same sense that, you know, you've got a trending song, this might be a really stupid question, but you know, I'm basics with reels. Is there such thing as a trending reel, as in like, you know, like the audio or
I think there is, yeah. Like, I mean, again, I'm not like a whiz on it, I don't really know, but I do notice, like, if someone does do them and they see someone else do it, I have had it, so if I do it also, it kind of does like shoot up as well. But then at the same time, I have done one where, like, maybe if I did like the one that Sian's done, like I might get like 10 views, you know what I mean? Like I might not get as many. So I think it's a little bit hit and miss, but yeah, I think if one is kind of going quite big, then the chances are more people are going to share yours, because they're probably going to want to use it. So yeah, I think if there is one that's popular, I would use it, because I think most people are going to share it. And again, it comes back to that whole like being relatable to people. And that's obviously why we want to do them. So yeah.
Yeah, defo. And then just two more. How are you at the moment? I know it was Danny Cumru that said, I think it was on the Whole Team Winning call a couple of weeks ago, and she said that reels at the moment are, you know, doing for recruiting what Live's done when they first came out. It's sort of the new to be using for recruiting. So how would you say to best use reels to recruit?
So I would do ones that are like, I always would put on my recruitment reels, DM me to know more, or DM me to join, or DM me for more info, because if obviously there has to be a call to action for them to know what they need to do. But I would say, like, just make them, so you could show different parts of the business. So obviously, like, you could show the money part. So you could just do a crazy one like we do with flinging money around. We don't have to that, but you could talk about like what it's done for you. So I'll often talk about, like, I did one about like gaining more confidence. Actually, one of my recent team members like mentioned that to me because they liked that, because that was the thing they wanted from the business, was to have more confidence. So, you know, you could just do one where you're stood there and you're pointing. You could write, like, you could just, you know, when you do the writing and it fades on, so you could just point like 5 things I love about my business, and then you can point down here and it comes up with like I earn an extra income every month. Here you could write like I get to work around my current commitments. Here you could write like I've gained amazing friends, and here you could write I've gained loads of confidence. So you could literally just show, I would say, show what the business has done for you on your reels in different ways. So if you've got kids and you've been able to like go part-time or quit your job for it, like pick your kids up and be like, because of this business, I'm at home with my children, or, you know, things like that. Try and think of different things you can show the business for, if that makes sense. And again, relate it to your audience. So, you know, if you're someone where you're a full-time worker and you're looking for people who you want are also going to work full-time and do the business around that, write in your reel, like in the writing, like, you know, I work full-time and I do this pocket business around that, and, you know, I can still earn an amazing income from it. So just when you're writing your reel out there and you're putting the content out there, again, for the business, relate it to your ideal team member. So who are they? You know, why would they want to join the business? What would excite them about it? What would they relate to? And just really put that in your writing. Oh my God, I feel like England have scored.
I did hear something. I don't know. Has anyone scored? Anyone?
1-1. I can just hear them all going.
They both scored. Is it 1-0? Is it 1-0? Everyone's like,
oh, like real land. Got no idea what's going on.
I'm gonna let you go, but we can catch the end. Upstairs is going crazy. We'll remember this call for all the right reasons. Just lastly, Ellie, your top 3 tips for a Reels virgin.
I would say go and research like different examples of reels first, just to find what kind of reel you want to do yourself. So whether you want to do like a music one, you know, decide whether you're going to do a product one, is it going to be a business one, or is it going to be just like a lifestyle one that's nothing to do with either of them. And then decide that first. And then I would say have fun, like make sure you're like smiling, like be really full of energy. Like, for example, if you're doing one about the business and you're there like I was gonna, people are like, I want to join her team, she's really moody. Whereas if you're like jumping around like a crazy person, they're like, I want to work with this woman. Or same with the products, like if you're there and you're feeling amazing, you're like jumping around showing your summer bundle, like, you know, talking about how amazing you feel or writing it, people are going to be like, oh my God, like I want this. And, you know, they're going to want to order from you. And again, if you're a mom and you're like being really real and really raw, and like, you know, some ones where I'm like, oh my God, and being really honest about mum life, other mums like, yeah, she's definitely a mom, like she knows that. So I would say, be energetic in whatever way applies to the reel, if that makes sense. And I would say just go for it, because I think so many people have probably been thinking about doing a reel forever and they haven't done one. And just think like each week goes by that you don't do one, you could maybe have got like a team member, a customer, or potentials. Because honestly, like I said, I do get quite a lot of people that come to me just from the reels about the business and the products. And I have massively noticed recently, like it's kind of opened my eyes a bit, and I've been like, wow, like it's that attraction marketing, which is actually something I've always wanted to like get, but I've always felt like I've had to reach out to other people in terms of like the products, you know, particularly on Instagram, I think, and the business more, whereas actually through reels people come to you. So if you're not doing it, like you're just missing out on opportunities.
Amazing, thank you, Ellie. You know what my house is like right now? You know when you said you do that reels, so if you keep noticing, you know when you do that reels, I'm like burning up and you hear that in the background and you're like, and the door, I'm just muting myself. I'm like, oh my God, what more? Oh goodness. Ellie, you are absolutely amazing. You're incredible. Your reels just give
I hope that was all right.
We just love your energy. Honestly, you're absolutely amazing.
You.
Your reels give us inspiration every day, and I think it's definitely given me a kick up the bum with my reels. I have been trying, but there's lots of room for improvement. And I'll just say, you know, like exactly like you said, when I first started with live videos, I was petrified. I would not do one, and then I set myself a challenge to do one every day for 90 days. And at the end of the 90 days, I'd sort of got over that fear. So I'm doing that at the moment with reels, and I'm hoping that that's my theory behind it.
Yeah, definitely. It's the same concept, isn't it? It's like doing something different, I think, makes people go like, oh God, I can't do it. But then like when you like, so when I did my first one, I can't remember what my first one is. I think it's probably, go and have a look actually, and it'll be awful. But then just think like they'll always get better, and you'll be like more confident with it. And just think like, think about your first live.
Oh God, yeah, don't do that. Honestly, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm out. We've had literally like so many.
I was useful.
I know. Thank you so much, Ellie. And we're
you're welcome.
With our reels, we're going to tag you in.
Yeah, do. I want to see them all.
Thank you, and good night, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed it and got loads of notes.
Bye.
Bye.